Hi, I'm Andrew Luke, and welcome to another examination of the fine print of a TV show that influenced a generation. Press Gang featured an array of fresh new talent, including Julia Sawalha, Dexter Fletcher, Lee Ross, Kelda Holmes, Mmolki Chrystie, Lucy Benjamin, Gabrielle Anwar, Paul Reynolds, and writer Steven Moffat, and it fused them with dependable hands in televisual entertainment. Producers Lewis Rudd and Sandra Hasty, directors Bob Spears and Lauren McGorry, editor Jeff Hogg, director of photography James Davis, and many other actors and makers. And so we come to the Series 2 finale, the end of the school years. It's worth bearing in mind that Richmond Films was only contracted by Central for 2 seasons, with no word of a renewal, and the characters at the end of their stories, the crew treated this as the last episode. Lynda alone, almost in a darkened room, her mentor, her enemy. On rewatch, it evokes loneliness, sacrifice, and obsession. In the present, Tiddler, I've skipped over her last few appearances where her younger age has made her a punching bag for the school leavers. Here she makes an impassioned plea to Lynda to urge Spike to remain in Norbridge, and it gets quite meta, performing the voice of the audience.
Well, we've all been following this dopey love story since page 1. You're part of everyone's lives now. There are jokes about you and rabbits named after you. Watch this. Spike. Lynda. See?
For her concerns, she receives a full bitchery of Lynda-isms. Kelda manages a new look of thirsting for some new Kenny amid fun multi-delegations of retrieving her typewriter. The newcomer is infamously Moffat's pot shot at his ex-wife's new boyfriend, Brian Magboy, Maggie's boy. He'd later confessed to being unsure if the job landed, as the boy in question keenly enjoyed the show. Casting director Liz England on form again. Magboy is portrayed by Simon Schatzberger. At the time, Simon starred with Jake Wood in the background in a Yellow Pages advert that was pre-internet viral. He played Adrian Mole in the West End treatment, Woody Allen in a one-man comedy show, and appeared in TV over the years, including a feature role in Band of Brothers.
Look at the eyebrows. These are attack eyebrows. You could take bottle tops off with these.
Meanwhile, Kenny is groomed by Sophie and Laura. Very brave boy. This episode is the last for Rosie Marcel and Claire Louise Herndon as terrible duo Sophie and Laura. Could be extra work in the rebooted show, yet justifiable scope for more. They've been a fantastic addition, a lot of fun while we got them, an anarchic Beano comic energy about them with just a hinting edge of criminality. I'm sure their presence is felt in the oodles of fan fiction out there, toiling away to bring about a swift apocalypse.
Never mind about the foot.
I think I might have broken a toe.
Brian has arrived for Kenny's job. In hindsight, it doesn't help Brian looking older than Kenny, but it ups stakes and segues forward to the future. Lynda waiting for her call. An extended opportunity to look at Sawalha's fancy clothing and the bare desks.
We're all being fired from the Junior Gazette.
Fired?
Keys to the street. Thank you and good night.
The big finish.
Famously, the title of this episode was taken for an audio production company best known for their Doctor Who material. Big Finish was founded by the infamous Nicholas Briggs and Jason Hay Ellery, the latter the editor behind the Rainy Days file, a 1994 publication of Press Gang fan fiction. I haven't heard from Jason or Nick since reaching out for a comment. Maybe we still will. Big Finish Productions also makes audio plays from other Brit popular licenses like Blade 7, Sapphire and Steel, The Avengers and Thunderbirds. I think there's facilities there for them to host a Press Gang reunion series, don't you?
From the very start, when I discovered that press gang Big Finish was named after press gang. Have
Yes.
you ever thought about doing a press gang audio?
Wow.
You think about it a lot.
There has been some consideration, and there's a commercial aspect of it, which is how much would it sell. But we talked about doing something for Big Finish's 20th anniversary. We've got our 25th coming up soon, which is because obviously it feels like yesterday was the 20th,
right.
But the reality is the pandemic just went like that. Right. So maybe we should soon.
Don't be messaging them to suggest that by any means. Lynda has been expecting to be removed from the paper and thinking about solutions. It's typical of her to engage with the long game, likely alongside Spike's recuperation, hence her distraction last episode. Speaking of Spike, it is a third of the way into this episode before his appearance.
Hey, guys, I'm sorry. I guess I just got one of those kind of personalities that sets off smoke detectors.
We don't have a smoke detector.
Hey, I must have one serious personality.
He does like to make big scenes. It seems this is for the benefit of the newsroom, to express dominance, and sparring with Lynda is something he's drawn into. They fall easily into old habits, destined repetition, and then a surprising power move. Watch out, Kenny, you're about to be temporarily unseated.
He was horny, so he dropped him. Man is evil!
Presses a bit hard, doesn't he?
It's a good technique, though.
Don't you find he pulls your head around a bit roughly?
I don't care about your other girls. Just be good to me.
Let's put this on the phone tally for character narrative. A phone call from head teacher Bill Sullivan, Lynda's favourite teacher and inspiration.
But the way you've handled yourself over this business, the way you've dealt with Mr. Kerr, Mr. Campbell.
Your presentation tonight to the board. I think all of that is truly remarkable.
Well, perhaps not inspirational enough. These last 13 episodes, we've got Sullivan as hard but fair, a warm, understanding character, cultivating pride in Lynda.
You're not a schoolgirl anymore, Lynda. You don't have to call me sir.
I know, sir.
The Ernest Frank off-hours call is on-point culmination of their relationship.
Humphrey speaks for the whole band. Obviously quite a strain.
Easy, champ. Remember Othello? Is Colin out in his pyjamas? Perhaps it's couch potato depression. He's crestfallen at the betrayal, as he'll often say he is to sell something. There's a number of last-minute appearances this episode. Czar's Burger Bar, the sturdy second location. It'll endure in the name of Stephen O'Brien's fanzine, which lasted 5 issues or 4.5, spawning the Jim Sangster edited Leo Mac program guide. This is the last scene for Nick Stringer as a semi-regular, ahead of a cameo and a memorable guest star episode, and Clive Wood will be around for 2 more main appearances and a cameo. Lynda's pitch begins arrogantly in claiming her team were solely responsible for the success of the paper, negating, the financing main paper, the school itself.
So how can it be reasonable for us to be fired from what's rightfully ours?
Market capitalism?
Because you're leaving school.
That too. Rightfully, Sullivan is aggrieved. His vision was for the paper under the umbrella of the school. His pitch aligns with Central's pitch to Moffat, in that the Junior Gazette press gang would continue with a new cast of characters. But hang on, Kenny has laminations. Presumably this proposal has come about with the help of Colin getting the financial records in on time. We could wonder if Lynda clued him in on the plan, but briefly, because he'd be at that table. and there's only so much room.
Besides, we're not doing meeting here, we're making a pitch, which is my department. You'll only get mad at...
Sullivan plays the bad cop in this meeting. That point aside, his and Kerr's last shared scene echoes the fraternity that we saw from them way back in page 1.
That's the thing about teaching, Matt. Sometimes they actually learn.
Brian Magboy's call doesn't serve much more purpose than filler. He doesn't want to be Press Gang's cricket or hair star.
I just wanted to say, if the Junior Gazette does go ahead
With a new team, well,
I'm just not that sure that I want to be involved. I don't know if I could survive it.
We've twice been teased Spike is to coach Kenny on personality, a direction which is totally dropped, though Moffat uses those plot beats as moments of character in and of themselves.
So in fact, it's you I came here to see. No, it isn't.
Spike's Britain or America ultimatum for Friday night is on-show dramatic device. It's a binary demand consistent with the extremes of teen emotions. Problematically, it seems to have lost the attachment to Spike's near-death experience and comes over a little whiny. On the other hand, it's not like Lynda will have confided in Spike of her plan for commercialization. This is also the last episode to include the amazing Gabrielle Anwar. Sam's presence hasn't been felt much this episode, but she gets a few star chances to shine here and there.
Yeah, what sort of guy would I be if I went off and played at being a rock star?
I think you should give a lot of consideration to that.
It's a brief scene. The inference is to do with Kenny doing something for himself, something playful, something that's not for Lynda. Sarah gives him some like advice. Kenny should go after what he wants, and Lynda freeing him up to do the gig makes a hat trick. It's implied strongly that Sam put a word in, and I like that singular moment of agreement between them, between two factions. All this develops the tone of kindness from last episode and wraps it around the story.
Kenny Phillips can do anything he wants to.
It's beautiful. The sign here reads, Spike Thompson, ace reporter. Did Fraz leave this behind purposely? Maybe Lynda stole it.
Let's do lunch. Unlikely, I'm going to America.
Oh, first visit?
Colin, I am an American.
Well, you never mentioned it to me.
Light-hearted banter around Fletcher's accent. Incidentally, this is the last episode where his accent coach, John Calkins, Sandra Hastie's brother, is attached. Spike appears resigned to leaving, not wishing to fight. The without music last dance for a minute until we get a softer incidental theme. The question is posed, the potential press gang the next generation. And another question, do you love me?
Of course I do.
What?
Of course I love you. But what good does that do either of us?
What do you mean? What good does it do us?
I don't want this. I'm not ready for it. I just want to run a newspaper. At least I think I do. It scares me half to death.
And Lynda breaks it down. It's Spike's choice, and the whole of her life is in front of her. She says, I love you, unheeded, when the phone begins to ring. Colin Matthews Enterprises presents
The Animal of Rock, Kenny Phillips.
And the end credits play out over Lee Ross and the Gift's rendition of You Don't Feel For Me. I think we glimpse Sarah, Sophie, Laura, news team extras, Sam, Tiddler, bloody Colin. The lighting makes it hard to recognise who's on camera, but we're allowed to get a sense of the community, project onto the screen for ourselves a big bonanza rap party. And a final telephone call, which reads as a Schrodinger's cat call.
Hello? Junior Gazette?
And thankfully, The Cat turned out to be series 3. If you'd like to find out more about the use of telephones in this series of Press Gang, check out the segment later in this video, which is bookmarked. But for now, we're going to see if Gabrielle Anwar, with one last call to Judy from Graphics to get together a design piece for her biography. Julie. Anwar was born in Laleham, Surrey on 4th of February 1970 to a family with ancestry taking in English, Indian, Pakistani, Austrian, Jew and Muslim. She showed acting chops from a young age, featuring in a 1982 school concert Centurion sketch. She studied drama and dance at the Italia Conti Academy of Theatre Arts in London, the same school Julia Sawalha attended. She debuted in the 1986 British miniseries Hideaway, playing the daughter of a former diamond criminal going straight but pursued by others. The same year, she'd pop up in the music video to Paul McCartney's Pretty Little Head. By the time Press Gang aired, she'd made her cinematic debut in Manifesto and was equipped with the experience of half a dozen more hours on TV shows, TV movies, and mini-series, including Prince Caspian and The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Gabrielle Anwar and Press Gang came into one another's orbits even before rehearsals for Series 1, when she was up for the part of Lynda Day. As with the other promising hopefuls, her name was retained for plans to bring her in for another role. In writing the scripts for Press Gang Series 2, Steven Moffat levelled up Julie Craig, imbued her with more personality, only to find Lucy Benjamin was moving on. He's explicitly stated Sam Black was the same Julie Craig Mark II, same character in the early episodes. Likely this changed over the course of the series as Gabrielle Anwar made the character her own. Our Sam centrist episode is Love in the Junior Gazette, where we see a lot of what's to love, which is otherwise drip-fed through the series. I feel Gabby and Sam bring a real burst of energy to the newsroom. Fresh, playful. Her line deliveries just ooze beauty, smarts and sarcasm. The most underrated humour, as regulars know, and a Kenny Sam shipper for the skin enemy. Sam makes a great foil for Lynda as well, and their sassy bitch fests are often a joy.
Leave everything behind quickly now. What's happening? Nothing. Go and lie down in your room.
And her minor relationship with Spike, for whom she's the female equivalent, surely.
OK, everyone, back to your desks. The fun is over.
It's not how it looks to me.
After Press Gang, she'd pop up in another music video, this time Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Into the Great Wide Open. A competitive ice skater in the American Zeitgeist show of Pretty People, Beverly Hills 90210, and most notably Dancing the Tango with Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman. The memorable scene set Gabby on a course for profile feature film roles, award-nominated in Body Snatchers, and appearing in For Love or Money, The Three Musketeers, and Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. In 1994, she was included in People magazine's 50 Most Beautiful list, and for the rest of her career, she'd work almost exclusively in movies, either features or television films. And she'd do so with regularity, charting up 2 or 3 appearances per year. There were exceptions to the no TV rule, playing Princess Margaret in the first series of The Tudors, for which she'd net another award nomination for Best Performance by an actress in a guest role, dramatic series. She guested in an episode of Law and Order Special Victims Unit in 2007. She joined the cast of American spy drama Burn Notice, and this is a very definite exception because she clocked up an impressive 111 episodes, and a Teen Choice Award nomination for those. Around this time, Anwar became a US citizen in 2008. By 2017, she was on to her second marriage and taking a main role in season 7 of Once Upon a Time as Lady Rapunzel Tremaine, a Teen Choice Award nomination for that. And by 2019, she'd appeared in her 30th movie, No Slouch. In her personal life, Gabrielle is a strict vegetarian and has been open about her depression, bipolar disorder, and struggles as a young mother. These days, she's attained emotional stability and optimism, embracing her new role as a grandmother. So, we've come to the back pages of our Series 2 coverage. The end of the series means it's time to look at the phone bill, tallying the occasions where a telephone has been key to the plot. Breakfast at Czars. Kenny gets a call in. Lynda's done what? Thanks for the warning. Councillor Mayhew networking against the paper. Spike asks for an extension to the party. Picking up the pieces. Sam phones Lynda about Spike. Going back to Jasper Street, searching for the wood sculpture at 4 in the morning. The week and pizza. Spike convinces Yvonne he's not obsessed with Lynda. Why should Spike fire someone from the graphics department? Lynda doesn't take Sundays off. Love and the Junior Gazette. Kenny gets a pretty girl out of the bath.
Colin, have you been selling pizzas?
No.
Is Colin selling pizzas?
Wrong number.
No, this isn't your Aunt Rachel.
Kenny gets dumped again.
So that's 2 deep pan pizzas with anchovies and a special... Sorry, wrong number.
Kenny's favourite aunt. Can I call you back?
Aunt Rachel?
Kenny needs to call the person that he used to call when he was trying to call the other number. Prep ground for his big storm. Has lost a dragon. Spike will not get to kiss Lynda. Something Terrible Part 2. Colin has acquired a crate load of mobile phones. Networking with Tiddler. Billy's use of the internet as a potential for Colin to visit him. Spike and Lynda are Colin's normal. Friends Like These, mandated Vampira's Day Off. Tiddler and Sarah interrupt Kenny and Lynda. Kevin calls the newsroom for backup. Kenny calls Lynda for Sarah. Kevin updates the newsroom on the KD's deception. Lynda has Kenny phone for a taxi for Sarah.
Got to go, Kathy. All 4 channels covered and Jeff setting up the telly.
The paper is all over the Creswell disaster. Fraz's gang and phone sex jokes. Kate knows someone who works at Sounds. When did Spike phone last? Sonia's brother Tom was caught in the explosion. Spike has second thoughts on talking to Lynda. Sam calls to check on Lynda's outfit. Spike attempts to reconcile with Lynda. Editorial versus street reporting. Lynda did more interviews than Sarah for a story. Sam says hi. Spike does a ring and run. Lynda retaliates against Sam. Spike chooses journalism over a chat on the phone. Spike calls Lynda to the newsroom, setting the stage for their breakup. Rock solid. Nothing's wrong with Lynda. Nothing's wrong with Spike. Kenny helps Kathy and Peter. Colin is a pioneer retailer selling mobile phone services. Let's do lunch. The big finish. Mrs. Day is concerned. Sullivan calls Lynda. Brian Magboy quits. 3rd series. Series 1 averaged as a solid 2.0 calls with plot per episode. The Series 2 average takes us over 4 calls with plot per episode. This time we've one extra episode though. We'll put Series 1's 24 calls with Series 2's 54. That's a freaky 78 calls so far. Will that jump to 100 by the time we're through Series 3? Press gang, it's all about the phones. It's difficult to talk about the school years as a separate era. Going forward, we lose some tone in the background chorus of voices. The presence of a semi-regular who is obviously still at school, Tiddler, suggests a continuity there. An unfair deal struck between Sullivan and Lynda to retain some school children as after-school activities or work placement. What followed feels like the same show, albeit with some aesthetic changes and commercial concerns in the story. The back half of Series 2 particularly engineers a transition with young adult subject matter. We can even go back to Series 1's Monday, Tuesday for themes that outgrow the 4:30 children's TV slot and is fitting easily into place for the evening repeats. I think the soft reboot works because these two series are about development from childhood. As much as I'm a little bored by the who took the judo money mystery in Money, Love and Birdseed, we get to see the same characters change into what the rest of my life, for example, gives us. There's something remarkable about that. Often productions don't flesh out their characters in Series 1. Press Gang gets a pass here because these are characters still working out who they will be. So far, we've got a bold directorial experiment in A Night In, making school drama count in both sides of the paper, facing hard choices in Shouldn't I Be Taller? Series 2 has given us top comic capers in Breakfast at Czars, meditations on childhood in Jasper Street, a dramatic and comedic tour de force in Something Terrible, and sterling character work in Rock Solid. For a kiddies series, this is probably the best we've ever seen. Back in 2022, I created a 90-minute podcast about this era of the show. I'll be rebuilding it as a video for early 2026, retaining commentary on processes behind the scenes, including story structure and words from some very special guests. The Press Gang Readers Commentaries, or The Reader, will return to look at Series 3 and later in the year, Series 4. If you have a unique insight into the show as a creator or friend of the show, please get in touch. I'd probably love to make you part of what I'm doing with this series. There is a long-term plan covering Series 5 in 2027 with another 90-minute overview, perhaps a variety of Press Gang videos after that. I'm really keen to talk specifically about Lynda. You probably knew that. Best ever. I'd like to say a big thank you to all my patrons. If you'd like your name up on the door of thanks, you can get advance access to about 8 videos a month for as low as £1 English pound. That includes access to 9 years of archive material. Yes, I've been putting up comics, poems, films, plays, short fic and books for 9 years on Patreon. You're welcome. My channel primarily splits itself between video essays, for example on Angel and Firefly, and the short form ongoing pieces on Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and secondly on reviews that are as much comedy sketch shows as they are analysis. Watch me eat chocolate donuts while picking apart Star Wars Ahsoka, and satirize Star Trek Section 31 for its dodgy cosplay line in Irish stereotypes. And I'm pretty sure I'm the most interesting Doctor Who reviewer of the last few years. tolling away in obscurity. If you enjoyed what I did with Press Gang, likely there's more on this channel to love. Hopefully by now you've liked this video and are enthusiastically typing your comment before waiting for me even to finish. Grade A plus. Proceed to university or your new job at an exciting media outlet. I'm keen to learn your feelings on the big finish. Your headcanon, what my review picked up and left out, as well as helping the algorithm. Comments enhance the next set of commentaries by directing me into other areas to explore. Let's go get 2026. Bye bye.
Hello? Junior Gazette?